Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Canadian Cigar Scene. I'm here with my compadre, Jew. How you doing?
I couldn't be any better, actually. If I could say one thing, that I've had probably one of the best 5-day experiences in my cigar career.
Why? Where are we right now?
We are in Denly, Honduras, actually in the Jamastran Valley near San Diego, Tamale Town.
Oh yeah, Tamale Town. So we are actually at the CLE compound, and we're sitting here with some great people right now. We have Deanna.
Hello.
Deanna's our rep from Kretek. We have Tom Lazuka. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing well.
And we have Nicolas Brum.
Hello, gentlemen. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for inviting us to this fantastic trip. We've right now we have 19 guys, 19 customers that we brought down to Honduras.
The Canadians have invaded, literally.
Absolutely, and it's been a bit of a banger, hasn't it?
It's been great. It's been great.
So, guys, first of all, welcome and thank you very much for very much for everything you've done. It's been a fantastic trip. Our guys, let's start from the start. I mean, first day, what did we do? We did the farms.
Well, the first day we had the kick off. The children here start school here in February, so we started off with we bring 500 kids in from all the local schools and give them their backpacks and school supplies, and just make kind of a fun day for them to receive their stuff with us. Obviously, CLE Asylum and Bayer Crop Science as our partners in donating all the school supplies to the kids.
And that was, for us, I mean, and for all of our customers, that was pretty emotional.
Well, to set the scene for people too, I mean, it was outdoors at the farm, so I mean, you're already in absolute paradise if you like cigars. But the Minister of Education and one of the mayor's representatives were there, so the military was there with the biggest set of weapons I've ever seen, because Honduras, you've got to be careful with things. And I think some of the guys and gals on the trip at first were sort of like, what are we into here?
When they saw the military there.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was it was unique because it was between two curing barns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the ceremony was, and to see the faces of those kids light up when we gave out 500 backpacks to these kids for their next school year was phenomenal. And from there, what was the scoop from there?
Well, then we went into the seed beds, saw how we start the tobacco, and then talked about how, obviously we start them in the greenhouses, and then how many days, 45 days in the greenhouses. Then we moved on to the actual tobacco fields. At this time, we're almost done picking all the tobacco, so there was just 5th and 6th priming left to do. So we got to go out to the fields, watch them prime the tobacco, and then from there we moved into.
And the guys, just to interrupt for a second, I mean, we call him Dave, okay? Let's just use the word Dave. Okay? Dave was wanted to do everything.
Yeah.
And every question needed to be answered by Dave. But he wanted to pick tobacco. He had the opportunity. I mean, a bunch of the guys wanted to pick tobacco. It was fantastic.
They held seeds.
Yeah. Held seeds and really just to give people an overview. This is what it's like when you come on one of these trips, one of these junkets, and with Kretek and Victory Cigars. You come down and you see seed to finished product, and it's explained. Every question you have is answered, and Dave had a million, didn't he?
He might have had a few.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all good questions.
And there's never a stupid question, right?
Definitely.
And for the benefit of listeners,
This is
that
me.
is the sound of a lighter being flicked, because unlike our province back home, down here we can actually have a cigar during the show.
Communist. Sorry, I apologize. From there, where do we go from there, Tom?
Well, from there we went inside the curing barns, where we let them sit for 45 to 60 days, take the moisture out of the tobacco, lets the color change from the green to the brown. And we have a couple different style of barns. One's an American style, one's Cuban style. But we have about 65 of the barns on the property here, and we well, some people illegally went into one of them. We might have had to scold some guys.
I don't know who that was, but me and the Moyle and Congo decided to go rover and got busted. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No,
If you have to burn that barn down, it's all our fault.
You know,
Kretek will take care of the charges on that.
we had to fire like 3 people, and
Yeah.
But Tom, that's a big part of the whole Bayer program that you have. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, because what was the reason why there was a process to go into the barns? Can you tell people what that's all about and what makes Asylum so unique?
yeah, it's something we started. Obviously, when we still owned Camacho, before we sold Camacho, we got connected with Bayer Crop Science here in Honduras, and they have a certification process that takes about 7 to 10 years to be certified, and the certification basically tells you that you have zero impact on the environment. Anything you take from the environment, you're replacing. So in the fields, how we irrigate our fields, cleanliness from the employees, solutions. When you drive into the farm, the car gets sprayed. Before we walk into the greenhouses, you got to step into a solution and spray your hands. Before you walk into any of the barns, you're stepping into a solution, spraying your hands again.
And hand washing stations everywhere. It was like unheard of.
So it's just something that's real, and that we do. To my knowledge, we're the only tobacco company in the world that's certified through Bayer Crop Science. So we take a lot of pride in that. We're 99.9% hygienic. So
That's awesome.
And it starts at every level. So everywhere you go, whether it's from the farms to fermentation or to our factories where we're rolling the cigars, all the processes are in place to continue to make sure that there's no contamination. It's a clean environment for the employees and for the tobacco.
All right, so let's continue on with the tour, just to give people an indication of what happens down here. Next thing, I think we finished up we were in the curing barns.
Yeah, we finished up. We did a little testing of changing the wrappers.
Mm-hmm.
I wrapped some cigars for the guys to let them see how much the wrapper really dictates the flavor. We took some fresh tobacco out of one of the barns that was just about finished in the barn, and sampled that to see the real difference between the wrappers. And that kind of concluded the first day's activies.
What happened from there?
Cigar related.
What happened from there on?
Yeah, from there it was just a lot of eating, drinking, and smoking.
Kind of went south from there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of went south.
Yeah.
So day 2, which is
Well, before we get into day 2, Deanna, we're staying at a pretty unique location, and at the end of that day, we came back here. Maybe you could tell the listeners sort of what this place is like. Where are we staying exactly, and what?
Well, we're staying actually at Christian's house and CLE, of course, and just involving and inviting the consumers and the customers here and seeing behind the scenes, such as the cigar factory, the fermentation, the sorting. Just getting the customers and consumers involved and seeing really behind the scene. It's an eye-opener. And again, all the trips that I've done, I'm continuously just learning and learning.
And this place is called El Aladino, which is Aladdin.
Correct.
I think.
Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladino.
Aladino.
It's Aladdin.
So what are the accommodations like? Like for people that are thinking of maybe coming down here, what's the accommodations?
We got a beautiful house. We got some great people that work here and cooking some great foods and creating some great meals for us.
Absolutely.
And just making us feel at home.
Two
really.
people
like
in
we're
two
just
people
one
in a
family
room.
And we're just taking care of each other.
And it's
There's
safe.
a lot of us that just don't know each other, but
And the
we
key-
definitely know each other.
And the key is to let people know that this is such a safe environment.
Absolutely.
You guys really, it's
It's just really a great experience.
yeah, absolutely. So day 2, which was today, I believe.
No, yesterday.
That was
Yesterday. Well, I'm in a wee bit of a time warp. It was quite a late night last night, Nicholas.
It definitely was.
Nicholas.
Yes, it was. You just woke me up from my nap.
Yes. What did we do the next day?
Well, day 2, we started out with again a nice breakfast and meal, and then we headed down the hill to Christian's father Julio's factory. he's 78 years old, and he decided he wants to start his own brand again. So he's doing his own thing. So he wants to kind of make the cigar that he considers a true Cuban style cigar from the early 30s and 40s. So we got to tour his factory and kind of see his operation and spend a little time with him.
And see the fermentation. I mean, we did everything from fermentation to, I mean, the barrels were, for me, that barrel room was something that I'd never seen before. I mean, these massive turning barrels where you put the bunches of tobacco in, and it just continually turns to, and that was to.
Well, what we do
get
with
moisture
that
back
is,
into the tobacco.
yeah, well, it's a drying process also.
Okay.
So we dry it, and then we'll put moisture. We'll mist the room and put moisture back into the tobacco to move it so it's pliable and we're not damaging the leaves. Again, we go in and we went into the sweat rooms, which I think we're at about. We take the fresh tobacco and put it in a room for 10 days. It's about 175 degrees Fahrenheit in there. So everyone didn't want to stay in there too long.
No.
And then to the barrel rooms, and then obviously we move into another building where we have our sorting, and we show you how they're sorting the tobacco by color, by grade, from each field, every step of the way. It's tracked where it came from and who was in charge of it and what part of the plant it came from, what priming, and all those things.
Dave had a lot of questions there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to the pilons, the bulkings, how we start to age the tobacco and ferment again from the bottom leaves up to the top leaves, and the time that it takes to do those things. And then we move on to.
Where would we go from there?
I think we went to we went to the box factory.
That's right.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yes.
Very clean facility as well.
Yeah.
I was
I
really
was
amazed
shocked.
in how clean it was.
Absolutely.
It was amazing.
I was shocked by the cleanliness and the
Yeah.
safety procedures that were put in place, for the workers that were there, and it's something that you don't see in a lot of factories. All the safety precautions, and obviously you want to make sure your workers are taken care of and protected, which is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we have doctors on hand all the time at the rolling factory. So, again, just goes back to if anybody's ill, we have someone there that, they can see the doctor, send them home, get them the medicine they need. And again, being cleanly and hygienic all the time at every step of the process.
From there, we went to was that day 2?
No, that was we ended up there at lunchtime, and that was day 2. Then we drove into Dan Lee.
That's right.
And we visited our new factory, the Aladino factory, which makes all the CLE, Eiroa, a number of the Asylum cigars. It makes some of the One Shot, One Kill and Edgar Hoyle stuff. So we did the tour of that factory, and everyone got a chance to sit down if they wanted to and roll their own cigar.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah,
The guys were blown away by that.
Yeah.
The guys were blown away. I mean, for myself and Julian, it's we've seen a lot of, like Nicolas and Deanna, we've seen a lot of the factories, and we've seen a lot of, you think it's going to be the same old thing, but you always see something new. And I think for me, watching a guy put, what was it, 11 leaves, 11 leaves into a buncher to make a 7x70.
That's right.
It was incredible, and the massive wrapper leaf that it took to wrap that
Yeah,
goddamn
the size
cigar
of it was
was
amazing.
insane. Yeah, very impressive. From there,
From there, obviously we went down. We saw the packaging, had them putting the bands on, sorting, the old stripping machines that take the veins out, and then
the freezing room
where we flash freeze and make sure, again, another quality control to make sure that we're killing the tobacco larvae, eggs, the beetles themselves, before they actually ship into the U.S.
That takes care of. That was day 2. Okay.
Yes.
And it's such an extensive tour, and every question was answered by you. You were magnanimous when it came to answers to questions, because there was so many questions everybody was like just hammering you all the time, and it was fantastic. Everything got answered, you know.
Well, and then we also came back again. Stopped in San Diego for the tamales.
Yeah, that was a great experience. The culture and
Stopped in where was in San Diego. This fantastic lady who has this huge. She's got a fire going underneath, a wood fire with this huge pot, and it's what is it? Water in there, and it's wrapped. This tamales are wrapped in banana leaves, and we all sat down together, had some beers, had a tamale, and they brought out this big vat of pickled hot peppers, and oh my God, it was just the guys were blown away.
Yeah.
Truly good.
Yeah.
Truly the best.
And then I think kind of the highlight of the night was our little round table, and we had a little surprise for all the guys, and we kind of blackmailed them and forced them to smoke the 80 by 8s because I told them they wouldn't get any more cigars if they didn't
and
smoke
I was
it.
forced
So
as well.
yes, even Diana partook. Not for long, but I was amazed that actually the whole group actually smoked the entire cigar.
And really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a 2-hour smoke, but man, oh man, we got through it. And you know what? For the people that are listening to this, go to our Facebook page, Victory Cigars, and check out Horatio for a lot of the pictures and tweets. There's some fantastic photos of all the shenanigans and goings on, between the tamale. I call it Tamale Town, San Diego, and from there on, it was just fantastic. And then last night was just a complete shit show. Straight up. Okay.
Some stuff we're just going to leave in Honduras, right?
Yeah. We will not talk to him about that, but a lot of fun. Yeah, you know what? And the guys, you know what? For me, the most fantastic thing and the most unique thing is to see, 18 guys that nobody knew anybody. Everybody came as an individual, other than Mark and Devon. Father and son, which was fantastic, but nobody knows anybody when they come on this trip, and it takes 6 hours before guys are sort of talking, and then the next thing you know, they're like, everybody's just having a great time, and the laughs.
And we've nicknamed, everyone had a nickname.
Everyone's got
a nickname.
Oh yeah, we'll get you one, don't you worry. We just haven't told you what it is.
Yeah, but you're being polite.
Yeah, you didn't mention I'm the only woman on this trip.
That's true. Deanna's a champion. I mean,
I've been holding it together.
To come on a trip with 19 guys and be the only woman here she's a beauty.
Hey, it was a great.
She is a beauty.
It was a great bunch. These guys have been phenomenal.
One of Julie and I's favorite reps. Absolutely,
Well,
you do a fantastic job.
Because we're one of your favorite customers.
That's right.
That's right. So today, what did we do today?
Well,
Nicholas,
you had some input into today, because just when I think you can't surprise us anymore and, and introduce something, you kind of persuaded people to help make something happen today, which was really unique. Why don't you tell the folks what we did?
Well, what we did, first of all, the team at CLE and Christian and Tom opened up an additional day for us, which really stretched out the trip to give us an additional relaxation, which really helps us Canadians, the guys from Oshawa and Toronto, where it's minus 21, minus 24 right now, and down here it's just perfect. And so with this additional day, we were able to go out and do a coffee tour, or coffee plantation tour. So we all hopped on the back of trucks and pickup trucks and held on to the bars and went driving for 45 minutes or so, and then went up these dirt roads into the hills and just saw a vista that was incredible. And it gave guys time to sort of digest, looking over the fields and what is Honduras before them, and digest everything that they've been able to see over the last couple of days. Everything in the process of cigars, and digest what they've seen with the children, which was an incredible thing. All the families that are touched by the companies that make these products. So that coffee tour was an incredible thing. Then coming back down the hill, and of course we all look at each other and say, let's go back to San Diego.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
we did a little side tour first, though. We went for some lunch. Was that place affiliated with the coffee plantation as well, or?
On the way back?
Actually, we stopped in the town of El Paraiso.
Yes.
Yeah, we stopped in El Paraiso.
Yeah, it's a hotel. It has a nice little courtyard in the middle of it, outdoor courtyard with a pool and a serving area. So we're able to get lunch, try the coffee, and maybe
Guys can buy coffee.
put down a few more beers, and
Yep.
then we did a little tour into El Paraíso. Just did a walk through town. It was kind of bustling today for a Saturday.
Oh, it was bumping today.
That was the Honduran Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, the Eastern Honduran,
Yeah. I mean, the guys were blown away by that today. Just to feel the culture of the town, the small town. I think that was very important to the guys.
We ate a few flies too.
Yes, that's true. So on the way, I mean, to actually stand on the back of a truck, of a pickup truck, and hold on to the bars, and I'm telling you, going 70 miles an hour is just a rush. It is with a beer in your hand, one hand, and a cigar in the other.
Yeah.
That's right, which is fantastic.
At one point, my cap blew off. I had a ball cap on, and instantly the motorcycle going the other way stopped in the road, and I saw them picking it up, and I was cool with that because I didn't care about that ball cap anyway. But nothing hits the dirt for very long in this country.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we should talk about how you guys struck up a relationship. I mean, how did Kretek end up distributing CLE and Asylum in Canada? How did that work out, you guys?
Well, obviously we're a company. We're about 3.5 years old now. We started the Asylum and CLE brands in July of 2012. The first couple of years, obviously, we focused on distribution in the U.S. only. And then one of our good customers in the U.S. is Phillips & King out in California. And we have a great relationship with Sergio and Patrick and the whole team out there, and Darren and Caesar and all the guys that I deal with out there. And they had mentioned that they had Kretek in Canada that does distribution, and they were looking to grow their distribution. So we sat down and had a talk, and it was just a perfect fit. I flew into Toronto, got to meet the team, all their sales meetings. They had their sales meeting, and they did a big customer night where a lot of the local retailers came in, and we kind of did.
First time we met you, I think.
Yeah. But it was to meet Nicolas and everybody there. We had the meeting and said, listen, we're a young company. We wanted a young company that was hungry and really growing in Canada, and I think it was a perfect fit. And we're very happy with the marriage so far, and I think we're just looking to grow in the future and keep going. They do a great job for us.
And yourself, Nicolas, I mean, did you have any sort of relationship with Christian, or did you know these guys at all, or like yourself?
Well, no, I didn't know him directly. Obviously, you know of a guy like Christian because he's very well respected in the industry for both him and his dad for the work that they do down here. So when the opportunity arose, I jumped at the chance to work with this type of an operation, one that has a lot of history, and then two, with their Asylum lines, adds a real edginess, a real new approach to cigars and cigar branding, which is very interesting to us. So they really bring the best of both worlds. So no, we didn't know Christian and I didn't know Tom, but I knew Tom. As soon as we met him, I felt like I've known him for a hell of a long time. And after this trip, I feel like we're all brothers of the leaf.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So for the listeners across Canada, Nick, if somebody's in Alberta, somebody's in Saskatchewan or any other province other than Ontario, because we know they're available in Ontario.
Absolutely.
Are these cigars across the country?
They are available across the country.
And for somebody that's just tuned in now, maybe you could just go over the lines a little bit and just kind of tell them what we currently can get.
Absolutely. So we started. We wanted to focus on the lines that we thought would get penetration into the market and people would take a look at and try. So we looked at what was working in the U.S. and so we focused on the Asylum lines, some of them coming out of Nicaragua, the Asylum 13s, the Asylum Corojos, and then in the CLE lines we came up with the 40, the Corojo, and the Connecticut. So we didn't bring their entire line because getting shelf space is difficult. The Eiroa, the CBTs, the 20th anniversaries, and the Classic, which the Classic, by the way, got the #1 rating in Cigar Journal. Now a lot of people are calling us and asking for that. Well, with price point, we didn't launch that last year. But now after seeing the guests of this trip, their reaction to it, we have to put some strong considerations to it. It will not be an inexpensive cigar, But with ratings like that came out in Cigar Journal, that will sort of catapult it to get people to try it. And that's the whole thing. Once they try this product, they will come back. They'll try it again. It's just getting them to try it, and it's not easy to get people to try a cigar in what is either a dark market or a very restricted market. Not a lot of stores across the country. So if you want to try this experience, get a hold of your local retailer or talk to the guys at Victory, or give a call to Kretek, and we will be doing more of these trips, and you can experience that. But if a flight and a 3-day experience is not in the cards, go to your local retailer and pick up a CLE or an Asylum cigar. If they don't have it, tell them to bring it in, and they will.
I think that what I like about, we have quite an array of CLE, Asylum, Schizo. I think that what I like about the entire brand is the fact that you have a lot of different price points. I'm just speaking from on an Ontario basis. There's stuff that's very inexpensive. The Schizo, for example, which is medium fill.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Cuban sandwich.
A Cuban sandwich. A fantastic smoke at like in the $5 to $7 range, which is fantastic. And I'm telling you, that stuff flies off the shelf for us. And then you can go to the CLE line, and first off, the Asylum line. That sort of $10 to $12 range, $14 range. And then you go into the premium stuff, and then you go into the OSOC, and we're very privileged actually to when we were away in Cuba. Haley was talking with Deanna and smart enough to pick up. We pick up two lines of the Ogre.
Yeah, we did Lancero, we did the 70, and then we brought the OSOC.
The OSOC and the Trompetta.
Correct.
What a display on the cigar, and to see the Ogre itself. That's one of your brainchilds, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tom.
Yeah.
The barber pole, right?
Yeah.
And
Candela barber pole.
Yeah, Candela barber pole. So what's the other wrapper? The Candela and
it's a Habano wrapper.
It's a Habano, okay.
Nicaraguan Habano.
So I have the yin and the yang. Julian and I do in the shop. We have Lancero, and we have right now. I think we're looking at is it a 660?
We got the 660.
And
Lancero,
it's still available, and it's going to be available as well. It is available in the 7x70.
Correct.
That's more of a spring to summer smoke, so
Definitely.
that'll be coming in more in the summertime. There's not a lot of guys that are going to stand outside and smoke a 7x70 in the middle of minus 20 degrees. But
the Moyle might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Moyle.
might.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe you talk a little bit more about your relationship with Christian and Christian Luis Eiroa, who is CLE, and yourself, Asylum. The two of you guys have quite a relationship together. How the hell did you guys strike that up?
I got into the business in 2001. Actually working for Calibri, the lighter company, and doing sales in just Michigan area, focusing on tobacconists. After a couple of years of that, obviously I was on the road. I met a number of people throughout the years, and I happened to meet a gentleman named Salim Hanano, who was with us at Camacho, and he had approached me and said, "Hey Tom, we're looking to add some in-house salespeople." As Camacho was growing, it was kind of in its early stages still, and so we sat down. I flew down and interviewed, and Christian, they offered me the position right away. So we started there, and I was very fortunate. Myself and Christian are the same age. I'm a little bit older than him, but he's going blind already, so I got an advantage over him. But he had took me kind of under the wing right away, and had always invited me to come down right away. He was doing blending and said, "Hey, you want to come to Honduras?" So I'd always say yes, and we'd come down and work on new projects. And he gave me some opportunities to really give my input in some ideas into some of the Camacho brands that we did. And then just over the years, our friendship grew. We both started having families and children, and so he's got 3 boys, I got 2 boys. They're all in between each other.
And you guys do a hell of a lot of travel. It must be difficult to to keep, between, struggle between family life and business life. I mean, you guys are on the road. I can't believe between yourself. I mean, where are you in the next 6 weeks?
Well, after this trip, I've been down here about 20 days now, so I'll head back to the Detroit area for 5 days, and then I do a tour into Florida for the Great Smoke, a big multi-vendor event in West Palm Beach, and then I fly to Scottsdale, Arizona for a week, and I'll spend a week in Arizona doing Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tucson. Come home for a couple days, and we get into March, and then we have a trade show called TAA in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, so I'll be there, sneak in a few days of fishing, and then fly straight from Guadalajara to Las Vegas to do the TPE trade show with our partners Phillips and King in Las Vegas, and then I get to sneak home for a day or two, and then right back down to Miami. And
it's insane.
Yeah,
it's just go. And you know what? It's a testament to your passion. I mean, just to see the guys and to listen to you answering all the questions, every goddamn question, and your passion for this business is insurmountable.
No,
it's
thank you very much. Thank you.
And
you can always learn.
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
I learn new things when I come down.
And if you stop learning, then you're not doing the right things.
That's right.
If you have that impression, then you're not doing the right things, and that just shows that you guys at CLE and Asylum are doing the right things.
They absolutely are, and we've got a couple more minutes left. Nicolas, for the Canadian listeners, coming forward, do you think there's an opportunity we might be able to get Tom or Christian to come up to Canada? Is that something that Kretek is working on?
Absolutely. That's those are topics that were discussed with us here at some meetings that we were having, how we're going to do that, sort of timelines, purposes of those trips. Obviously, we're going to be going to stores and meeting them. We will be doing events with Kretek, inviting the retailers and consumers in to join us. There are some other things that we're discussing in terms of protecting our rights as cigar smokers in Ontario and across the country, that Christian is on board, or both Christian and Tom are on board 100%, and some initiatives that we think we need to do to protect ourselves. So that will be coming. There will be, Tom is now going to, traveling across the U.S., and he will be traveling across Canada as well.
Yeah.
And for our Canadian listeners, sorry to interrupt, but for our Canadian listeners, I mean, this trip that we were on has been a trip of a lifetime for a lot of our customers. I'm sure there's people in other provinces that are thinking, holy cow, how could I ever get in on a trip like that? If a guy said, I'd like to get in on a future trip,
Absolutely.
Could he go to his local tobacconist and ask
Go
about
to
it?
his local tobacconist and talk to them about a trip. We will open that to any cigar retailer or their consumers. If they can't, they can contact Kretek directly, and we will make that available to get them on a trip through a store. We'll talk to a store in the area about doing that. We always like the consumers to come with their local retailer, because we want those consumers to support the local retailer. So sort of to come together with them and just grow that relationship between consumer and retailer to Kretek with Asylum, down to Honduras and the people here. So we respect that sort of chain with the retailer. So we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and they can always contact us through our websites, either the CLE website or asylumcigars.com.
Yes.
Or our Facebook pages. I run our Facebook page, and so they can go to the CLE Facebook page or the Asylum Facebook page and message me, and we can get you in touch with the right people to get the ball rolling, the wheel spinning.
Perfect. You know what? At the end of the day, guys, I just got to say thank you very much for offering this up to Victory Cigars. It was a complete pleasure and an honor to be down here and for you to be our host.
For being part of it.
One last thing before we go. This is on radio, so you're not going to get. It's not going to do it justice. But do go on the website, on Victory Cigars website or Twitter or Facebook, and take a look at the pictures, because the one thing that we haven't said is we are sitting in this valley that is beautiful.
Oh my
it's
God.
majestic. We're sitting up on a hill overlooking this, the sun coming up on one side and the sun going down on the other, And just before we're doing this the interview, we're looking at the sun coming down, and the mountains are beautifully red. It's gorgeous. So do go online and take a look at it.
Tom's favorite place to smoke a cigar, isn't it?
No better place in the world.
It's
at
mine too now.
Absolutely. And at that point in time, between myself and Julian, it is actually time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for listening to Canadian Cigar Scene on realityradio101.com. And now it is time to have a cigar.